Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10, powered by Greenply.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Uniform Civil Code has been in the pipeline for 52 years. How long will it be in the pipeline? How long will we discuss it? How long will we debate it? The time has come. We can't just go from election season to election season. Every election season it becomes a subject of controversy, then it's forgotten later, and then we talk about what happens when there's no Uniform Civil Code and the fact that Indians are discriminated because we are one country where there isn't one law for people. How do we unite as a nation if we don't have a Uniform Civil Code? I really don't understand what the argument is against the Uniform Civil Code, because truly there is no argument. There is no argument. And viewers, that's why I take a stand. On issues which matter to the nation, we cannot be fence sitters. I am not a fence sitter, and the media unfortunately has become a fence sitter on the UCC issue. Some people think it's very secular to not take a position on the UCC. I say it is anti-constitution to not take a position for the UCC. We've been promised a Uniform Civil Code. Now is the time to make it a reality. This government can, and I truly believe that this government will, without any further delay, in the upcoming winter session of Parliament, bring in the bill for a Uniform Civil Code. No more debate. Let us legislate. Ladies and gentlemen, let's debate.
The BJP had made it a manifesto promise.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार यहां पर यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड लेके आएगी और इसके लिए एक समिति बनाई जाएगी एक्सपर्ट्स की, और उनके रिपोर्ट के आधार पर हिमाचल प्रदेश में यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड लगाया जाएगा.
The Home Minister had made a declaration of intent.
कांग्रेस पार्टी वोट बैंक की लालच में नहीं हटाती थी. मैं आपको कहकर जाता हूं, हिमाचल में जयराम ठाकुर की सरकार ला दो, हिमाचल में कॉमन सिविल कोड लागू हो जाएगा. यहां कोई नहीं रोक सकता.
And now the Defence Minister has said the move has nothing to do with politics.
या भी यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, समान नागरिक संहिता लागू करने की बात लोग कहते हैं. हम वोट हासिल करने के लिए समान नागरिक संहिता की बात कर रहे हैं. समाज को बांटकर, समाज को तोड़कर हम सरकार नहीं बनाना चाहेंगे मेरे बहनों भाइयों. हम समाज हम सरकार बनाना चाहें, समाज को जोड़कर हम बनाना चाहें.
The chorus for Uniform Civil Code is growing. So is the opposition to it.
Just before the election, a few days before the election, they are announcing it to implement this UCC. What is UCC? Whether UCC can set right the arthik sthiti of the country, whether it is a jadoo ka danda, what is this? What benefit people will get out of it? It is nothing, it is just politics, and they think that they can get power again through UCC.
सिर्फ यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड इसलिए लाना चाह रहे हैं कि मुस्लिम अकलियत को उनके मजहब से, उनकी मजहबी शनाख्त को कमजोर करके रख दिया जाए.
But is it time for a uniform pan-India legislation in Parliament? The courts of law have recognized the importance of UCC that is already envisioned in Article 44 of the Constitution of India. However, no legislation to the effect has been passed till date. The winter session is likely to commence in 3 weeks. Will a bill on UCC be tabled? Let's debate.
Viewers, my slogan for tonight is no more debate. Let us, Saida, legislate. You know, we are so happy because it's almost happening. I have this feeling, I have the intuitive feeling it can't be too far. What do you feel, Ishkaran? I feel it's tantalizingly close. We will unify all the citizens of this country. No more personal laws. One law.
Arnab,
what do you feel, Ishkaran? It's almost coming, right? I have this feeling about it.
Constitutional scheme. it was always emphasized that uniform civil code would be brought in. When the constitution was framed, we had Hindu personal law and we had Muslim personal law. Nehruji, in his wisdom, brought a Hindu code bill, but said the Muslim community is not yet ready, so we will not touch their personal law. I ask you, in a secular country, how is it that you remove the Hindu personal law, but you keep the Muslim personal law? And that was done in the name of vote bank politics. Supreme Court from Shah Bano onwards, in fact, Shah Bano, which Rajiv Gandhi overruled, was saying that we need a uniform civil code to give women their rights, to have a uniform code of marriage, divorce, inheritance, succession, guardianship, etc. The Supreme Court is firm since 1980s. Our constitution framers were firm since they brought in the constitution. It was only a vote of politics which is stopping it. Thankfully now, BJP took one step towards it by abolishing triple talaq. That was a step towards it. But now they need to go the entire distance. They don't need to take a step. They need to finish the journey and bring a uniform civil code. So this nonsense of people getting away by polygamy. In a modern democratic country, polygamy is allowed, and it's shameful that women come and support it in the name of religion.
We already have a uniform civil code in the form of economic and criminal matters.
IPC, you get an exception to that. Do you want people to have multiple marriages in a modern society which is already overpopulated like India? Second aspect of this.
We already have a uniform civil code.
You need to have uniform laws to maintain it. You need to have uniform laws of guardianship. So I think the step taken by abolishing triple talaq needs to reach its logical conclusion by a uniform civil code. High time BJP does it.
It is. You know, it is going to happen, Ishkaran, I can tell you. With absolute certainty, I can tell you. It is constitutionally viable. It is legally viable. Who cares whether who cares whether it is politically viable or not? Who cares? Do we care? If you were to look at political viability of things, Sona Khan, then nothing good would ever happen in this country because some politician would oppose it. Abhijit Sasane, member of the Methodist Church, you agree with me, I know that. Kuldeep Singh Sandhawala, author and academician from Patiala, I know you agree with me. And you know eventually all of you, Kuldeep ji, Sona Khan and Abhijit Sasane will all stand up and celebrate when the Uniform Civil Code is passed, and it will happen very soon. It's not going to take a long time. That's the best news, you know that? Sona Khan is going to happen in a, what do they say, in a jiffy. All debates will be over then. RP Singh, all overnight, it will just happen, and like 370 was removed. Some people had their jaws dropping and were in shock. Some people will be in shock now, but it was for the good of the country then and now for the good of the country now. So are we ready? Are we ready? Just imagine if it's passed, it could happen by January, February. It could be over. One country, one law. How amazing. Isn't it, Kennedy? How fantastic it's going to be. We'll all come together and be one people.
Arnab, I'm supporting the one law for the entire country. Let me have some time to present some general truth. I'm from Cochin, from Kerala. So the northern parts of northern districts of the Kerala, like Calicut, Malappuram, and all those areas, demographically, the Muslim community are much more there. And they are so passionate about the football play than cricket. They love football than cricket. You know why I'm saying? Kerala got a football team, Kerala's own team, Kerala Blasters, and the Brazil. The similarity between the Brazil and Blasters, the color of the jersey is yellow. When the football matches coming into television and live in football grounds, these people, these Muslim boys are rushing there. They're enjoying with wearing that yellow jersey. Now, let me tell you something. According to the Hadith, the Prophet.
No. One minute. Just one minute. Kennedy, 1 minute. Kennedy, heard me. Let me get Professor Geeta Bhatt into this. 1 minute. Let me get Professor Geeta Bhatt on the left, please, for a minute, please. See, let's go to the nub of the issue to Professor Geeta Bhatt, please. Professor Geeta Bhatt, question is, does it seem to you to be closer, or does it seem to you to be just an election slogan for the Himachal Pradesh elections? Or does the reality of a UCC nationally appear to be closer or not?
Well, Arnab, definitely there is the discussion, in the society, in the media, related to a uniform civil code is basically an indication that definitely somewhere within the society and in the government, this thought process is running that we need to go ahead where we already, within the civil procedures, criminal procedures, where we already have uniform laws. It is only when we come to, divorce, marriages, to succession, to inheritance, it is there that uniformity within people, for women, especially for women of various sects, or those who are practicing, different ways of religion, they are the ones, who are or not at parity when it comes to their rights. And one example I would like to put forth here, Arnab. And this is something which is not related to inheritance or to marriage or to divorce, but is actually related to the fundamental rights of any human being. And that is the case of Kerala that I would like to put forth, and that is of the senior nun, Sister Lucy, who went ahead and put forth her protest regarding, the charges of rape case against Bishop Mulakkal. Do you know that she was removed from the congregation to which she belonged on the pretext because she was told that she was learning how to drive, and she has written a book of her poems without taking permission. Even her salary as a teacher, which she, in the convent while she was teaching mathematics, that also was not released to her. Now, isn't it just sheer? Do you think that in 21st century, is it possible that a woman, this is a fundamental right that if a woman has, earned by giving her time, her labor for a particular profession, that she should not be given the, salary or the remuneration for that? But it has happened in this 21st century. And why is it that even, the court could not come out and, defend her this right? Because she was just removed from the congregation, and this has happened in this. So where is it? There has to be laws where there needs to be uniformity, where, in terms of men and women, they have equal rights. And this is what is right now in question. Why is it that the discussion, whether it is in the parliament or within the society, why is it that people are not ready to talk and discuss about it and look across? In all the religions, there are various positive aspects. Why can't we just discuss and look for a law where there is a uniformity, where there are equal rights, especially when it comes to women?
I'm taking that as a given. I am taking that as a given. There's no argument here. I'm saying, when will it happen? Abhijit Sasane, should it happen by December? Do you think this bill should be brought in by December, passed before Christmas?
See, Arnab,
so we can have a wonderful start to the new year?
I don't want to comment about the right and the wrong about it. Arnab.
Yes.
No, I don't want to comment about the right and the wrong about it. See, every law has its positives, negatives, all those things. My question is, why now? Why? Who decides that now is the time? That is my question. Why now? What is the urgency at this juncture? That is my question. Secondly, I want to ask about the intentions. Okay, I want to really ask about the intentions. See, so many people are saying that it is politically driven. I do not want to comment on that. I'm just asking, as a genuine seeker of the truth, genuine seeker, whatever is happening, I want to ask, why now and what are the intentions?
Okay, I'll let RP.
The implementation.
I'll let RP respond to that, but if I may, just one line add to it. Why now? Because it's been 75 years. What is the intention? To bring equality in our country.
That's what I'm saying. It's been in the pipeline for so long.
No. to bring equality?
It's already been in the pipeline for so long.
Why? Okay, 1 minute. We have we're getting
Arnab.
Yeah, okay.
Now I want to ask about the implementation.
To abide by, give me a second, Arnab.
Yeah. Yes.
No. Why now just to abide by the Article 14 of the Constitution? There was a lot of noise being made during CA, Article 14, Article 14. Why equal right has not been given to Muslims? I mean, we are saying let's do that now. You are asking for it in the CA protest at Shaheen Bagh. You are showing us Article 14. It's the time that Article 14 says equal right to each and every citizen. Why different laws for women of a particular religion and
that
community?
Is my question. I just asked you, why now?
For women from different community, different religion and community.
No, why are you being apprehensive about
as I said earlier,
Abhijit, you can confide. You can tell Zeenat Shaukat Ali what your concern is. Just be transparent about it, be open about it, because you seem genuinely scared about the idea of a one nation, one law. What is the problem? What is the concern? You can explain to her.
No. I am not at all scared. Why should I be scared about it?
Now, I also don't understand why you should be scared.
I am asking questions. I said I don't want to comment on the right and wrong.
No, but we should comment on the right and wrong. I mean, there is a principle. There is an article called Article 14. There's an article called Article 14, and Sona Khan can tell you. Sona Khan, please come into the debate. And Article 14 says, Sona Khan, and you're a Supreme Court lawyer, you would know it. Can you hear me, Ms. Khan? Can she hear me?
Yes. Yes, please.
So she says, why now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I said, Ms. Khan, see, this is enshrined in the Constitution, right? It is enshrined in the Constitution, and we all are supposed to be equal before the law, but we are not equal before the law because there isn't an equal law. Article 14 talks about equality before the law, equal protection of the law. Right? Isn't that a great enough reason for a uniform civil code?
Right. Right, Arnab, it's a good reason, but I want to tell you also that it is not 52 years ago that your concept of a uniform civil code was envisaged. It was done in 1835 when the British Parliament discussed whether for India we should have a uniform civil code at all. Ultimately, it was decided in order to divide the Muslims and Hindus that keep the Hindu law and Muslim law out and give them a uniform Evidence Act, Civil Procedure Code, Criminal Procedure Code. At that time, we missed the opportunity. In 1951, under Professor Basu's commission, a committee was formed wherein the various laws relating to Hindu personal law were studied, and then that is why Hindu Code Bill came up later on. Of course, the Sharda Act has a lot to play a role in that aspect as well. But coming back to the formulation of a uniform civil code is a policy matter as mandated in Article 44 of the Indian Constitution.
Yes.
That states shall endeavor to secure a uniform civil code for the entire population.
Why?
So it's a federal legislation.
Why?
Some people say that marriage.
Why
some
should
people say.
Let me ask you, why was it written? Why was it written? Why should the state
in order?
Ishkaran and Zeenat on the left. Yeah, why should the state seek? In order
to give equal protection of laws to everyone.
Excellent. Wonderful.
Equality of law and equal protection of law.
Right.
Equal protection of law is the subject matter of uniform civil code, not equality of law.
Do you have any argument against it?
Equality of law is different.
Do you have any argument against it?
Equal protection of laws.
I
don't have I have only one argument against it. And
yes. Which is what?
I have only one argument against it, is Article 25. Article 25 secures the right to religion, but in my opinion, personal opinion, the Article 25 is a very personal article. It is not a public article. And therefore,
I'll tell you, Miss Khan, may I correct you? You're the lawyer. I am not. I am just a wannabe lawyer. But I can tell you that Article 25 itself, if you check it, I really hope that you read it in greater detail, including the clauses and sub-clauses, because you would find that Article 25, which is the freedom to practice of religion, itself under subclause 2 says that it does not affect the operation of any existing law, or for that matter prevent the state from making any law for secular activity. So the problem is that any person like you or Owaisi who quotes Article 25 absolutely. Is doing it selectively. Subclause 2, may I read it to you, sir?
No, more than that, Arnab, the customary law which is in violation of the fundamental right have to be eliminated, and only uniform civil code can do it, because there are many practices.
So then you are for the UCC, right?
Not only Hindu
you are
or
for the uniform civil code, right?
I am for the uniform civil code. My only concern is
what is your
that
concern?
the formulation of the legislation must be well thought of.
You know this.
It must include everything. What the Indian vulnerable groups have been deprived of. It must be a solid legislation and not a cursory one.
I feel let's look at the larger good, and I bring in Zinat Shaukat Ali. I always look at the larger good issue, Sona Khan ji, and on 14 December, as Zinat ji will know, a Dawoodi Bohra community woman, Fatima Qaid Zohar Chalawala, had to move the Supreme Court against a religious custom which allows the father continuous custody of the child after divorce. And I ask myself that why don't we have, if we are going to become a superpower with 75 years of independence, we can't even give women and men equal rights in our country. Then what are we doing? You know, I think the basic issue here is how long will women be denied equal rights of inheritance, of custody of children? And look at the abuse of women in polygamy.
Right.
I am looking at the maintenance for women.
Yes.
There is a larger good, and I want Zinat Shaukat Ali to come in on this. 1 minute, Ishkaran. I think we are all, this is a wonderful moment because everyone is agreeing tonight on the program for a UCC. Yes, Zinat ji. There's a remarkable consensus. Everyone agrees. How wonderful.
No.
Saida, just you left. Even you will agree soon.
No.
Yes.
I'll not agree.
Yes, you will.
I'm not.
You will. I'm absolutely sure that you will.
Going to agree
I am so sure that you will.
At any cost, I will not agree with it.
You can't support polygamy, and you can't support women not getting custody
polygamy?
of children.
Please see, 16-year-old girl child being married. Can that be allowed? A 16-year-old girl child being married,
Dr. Kulbir,
having an exception to prevention of child
UCC
marriage.
is a violation of personal laws.
Are we actually defending that?
Every religion is different. Every religion has different personal laws. Why do you interfere in different personal laws of any community?
Madam, I'm asking you just 3 questions. A woman not getting the custody of the child, a woman not getting the right to file a bigamy case if multiple marriages occur,
our personal law, our Sharia law, Muslim personal law will take care of that. They will make Sharia law according to the Quran. They will guide us, and we are happy with that, and we don't want interference of anyone in our religion. We have our own personal law. Let us follow that. Don't interfere in anyone's personal law. Every religion has its own personal law. Let them follow that. We don't need a uniform civil code. We already have a uniform civil code in the form of criminal and economic matters. Why do we need a uniform civil code for personal matters of different religions? It is not suitable for a multi-religious country. Uniform civil code is not suitable for a multi-religious country like India.
I'd say 1 second. Saida, when you, because I know that you have political ambitions and you are trying to get into the All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin, and I wish you all the very best in your attempts to emerge as a leader of Mr. Owaisi's party. Next time you meet Mr. Owaisi, you just tell him that Arnab had a question, because you are scared to face Arnab on a TV program. You come with everyone but not him, because you can't counter him.
I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of anyone.
No, you ask him this question. Tell him, Mr. Owaisi, do you want Muslim women to inherit only half the share of male inheritors? Ask him.
Listen, Mr. Arnab.
No, ask him.
Let me tell you one thing. We
ask
have
him,
our
no?
own
Ask him.
laws.
Why should Muslims be disbarred from adopting? A Muslim man cannot he adopt? Can he not adopt a child?
We will take our own decision.
Can he not just adopt a child
take our own
of his choice?
Whatever it is, whatever
Madam,
it is,
you live in a democracy. You will not decide. We will decide our own laws. Nobody gets to decide their own laws in a democracy. The government has to decide them.
Okay, Kulbir wanted to come in, please. Kulbir, it's such a wonderful moment, isn't it? Huh? In fact, the Allahabad High Court has said that the Uniform Civil Code is a necessity. It is mandatorily required. Matter of time. What's your take?
What about the
my take
report?
Arnab, I would hope that no one will intervene me, because I have listened everyone very calmly. Arnab, my take is that we can't deny that India is a very diverse country, and we can't deny that there should be equality before law. But what is here? The minorities have apprehension. The law would be derived from one source. Another thing is that any law should not be brought in a haste because there is a majority. Law should be brought after a proper discussion from every corner. Law should secure the right of minorities. Law should secure the right of LGBT community. Law should secure the right of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. When there would be the larger consensus, then law should be brought there. No one disagrees that there should be a uniform civil code. They should be, but everyone should agree on that first. We should not bring laws and after that we should say that we have done something wrong, as we have saw in a previous times. So another thing is that I will give you one example.
No, but these are mere apprehensions of yours. I mean, just because you have apprehensions, you don't. Isn't that a very small reason? You are apprehensive. You'll continue to be apprehensive. Were you apprehensive when there are terrible practices like nikah halala that are going on, right? And were you apprehensive? Are you apprehensive of the fact that Muslim women don't inherit the same proportion of their share in ancestral property like male relatives? Are you apprehensive of the amount of injustice that will carry on if this is allowed to carry on for even one more day? Are you apprehensive that Muslim men cannot adopt, not permissible under Muslim personal law? Are you apprehensive about that?
Mr. Arnab, you have to listen me now. You have asked a very good question, and I will answer you. I started that there should be equality before law, but there should be larger consensus. I will give you one example.
That larger consensus will happen at some point of time. A draft will come in. It will be brought in Parliament, be debated and voted and over.
Yes.
After that, what?
That is the point.
So it will be brought in Parliament, no? It will be brought in Parliament.
That is the point.
Yeah,
a draft should be public first.
No. One minute. The process of making a law is to introduce it in Parliament and pass it through both houses of Parliament. What's the problem?
No, you are right, but you are telling the half story. The process is any law which has to be brought.
You want to delay Kuldeep, you want to delay.
This is 1950s argument.
Mr. Arnab, I want to complete my part first. Then they can rebuttal me. The process is, the law is to first introduce within a public, then properly debated in Parliament, then there can be a law. But it will be
debated in Parliament, of course, and it will be passed after that. What's the problem? RP, I don't know.
What we have seen.
If there is a majority in Parliament, it will be passed.
What we have seen in just example of form law was passed, there was no debate, there was a haste, and then PM has to come and withdraw the law. So I am telling why we should repeat.
No, nothing is being brought through the ordinance route now. It is going to be consensus. It will be discussed, debated. It can't go through individual approval of 1.4 billion people. You want the government to wait for 1.4 billion years to pass a uniform civil code in our country?
That means you are ignoring the public sentiment.
Public has chosen a government, yeah. I mean, the government and the public has elected a parliament.
No, public elect the people. Public elect the member parliament. Public elect the parliament, and parliament pass the law. It doesn't go back to the public to pass the law or make the law. One. Secondly, sir,
but public opinions are sought.
Let me answer.
Public opinions are sought.
Public opinions are sought. During CA protest on secularism, are you for secularism in the country or not? Are you for Section 14, Article 14 or not? Let us know the two things.
Louder.
If you are for both of them, then common civil code is mandatory for both of them. Because if you want all to be treated equally as a secular state, then it's mandatory that we should have uniform civil code. It's not possible that you treat women like something else. I mean, a woman in a particular community can't be treated differently. I mean, Have you heard about the nikah halala which Arnab just mentioned about? Have you ever heard about it? It's such a shameful act. It's such a shameful discrimination against women.
Mr. RP Singh, you have not listened me carefully. I am
no civil society should permit that.
There should be equality before law.
Sir, Soko Manda Akhiye, Jin Jame Rajan, Nanak, Guru Nanak Ji said, did Guru Nanak Ji said or not? Tell me, did Guru Nanak Ji said, Soko Manda Akhiye, Jin Jame Rajan, tomorrow is the Gurpurab of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Go by what Guru Nanak Dev Ji said. Give equal right to the women of the country.
Guru Nanak said, I am endorsing that, Guru Nanak, but Guru Nanak also said that you must listen to everyone. Guru Nanak doesn't say that you must impose the things, my dear.
No, you can't delay this anymore. Kuldeep, well tried, but I'll tell you one thing.
No, nothing imposing. Where is it being imposed? It's being rooted to Parliament. It's being rooted to Parliament.
Yes, there should be proper discussion.
It's the body where people elect and send their people representatives.
There will be proper discussion, Kuldeep. There will be, okay, there will be proper discussion. There will be proper debate, but that debate cannot be endless. It's been 75 years. I can't wait 75 years. Kennedy wanted to come in again. Kennedy wanted to come in again. Yes, Kennedy. I'll allow Kennedy to come in with this point. Kennedy and Ishkaran, Kennedy and Zeenat Shaukat Ali on the left, please. Yeah.
See, Arnab, let me complete my point, please. Because I didn't get enough time to present that total picture before. So, actually, UCC, what it is aiming to? It aims to provide protection to vulnerable societies, the sections as envisaged by our constitutional architect, Ambedkar, including women and religious minorities. What is happening here? It is nowhere it is hurting any religious interest. I would say it is hurting only patriarchal interest. That is the question. There's some people, they are going to lose the opportunity to oppress. They are going to lose the opportunity to suppress the women, the vulnerable women. They are not going to get any more that right. That is the main problem. Let me say one more thing. Today in Kerala, the women group gathered, some women gathered in Kerala today, and including a couple of Muslim girls, and they were protesting against the religious attack. They were, I'm quite surprised with that, because first time I have seen in Kerala that, they have burned the burqa publicly. So it is going to be a revolution here. So once we implement the UCC, what is going to happen? That's the truth. They are going to lose the patriarchal interest. The women, they are the Muslim women, they are going to enjoy the same kind of right which Hindu women is enjoying, the Christian women are enjoying, the same kind of equal right that they get. They are going to enjoy the equal right for the entire people of India. That's what is going to happen. They don't want to be happen. That's why they are opposing this idea. That's my point, actually.
Yeah, I take your point well, and I saw what happened in Kerala, and I do think that things are moving extremely fast there. You see, Saida, you can shake your head. You can say that basically your argument is very simple, and I want Dr. Zeenat Shaukat Ali because she's very patient, and Saida, she's very knowledgeable, and she's very wise, and she's an Islamic scholar. She knows about all the Islamic, the sacred teachings, etc. She can teach you quite a few things. You should learn from her, Instead of opposing for the sake of opposing, or maybe to push your political career, you are trying to make a point. You should learn from her. You should learn from her how you cannot deny women equality anymore. And Saida, you should think. Zeenat ji will explain and educate you today on the live program, right? Today, Muslim women must have the same rights as Hindu women. It cannot be denied anymore. Am I right? They cannot. You can't say, "Oh, you are born as a Hindu woman, so you'll have greater rights of custody, inheritance, property, than a Muslim woman." It cannot be denied anymore. Please tell us, Zeenat Shaukat Ali. It's not far. We are moving extremely fast towards the UCC.
You don't need to worry about that. We have many rights and privileges given by our religion and our Sharia law. We are happy with that. You don't need to worry about that. You don't need to interfere. please let us follow our religion. UCC will be a violation of personal laws. It is not going to benefit anyone. It is not just about Muslims, it is about every religion, because every religion has different laws, and it is not suitable for a multi-religious country like India. Yes, we are one country, we are one nation, but many different cultures. You need to understand this. India takes pride in its integrity within diversity. For maintaining the diversity, we need to respect the personal laws of every community. And already Law Commission has said that UCC is undesirable. It is not required for the country. B.R. Ambedkar, the father of the Indian Constitution, said that UCC should be made voluntary and not mandatory.
Okay. Now, if you finished reciting the 2 lines you memorized there from what Ambedkar has said, and you want to quote him half, then I won't allow you. But I'll let Zeenat Shaukat Ali, because she's not spoken for the last half an hour. Yes, please.
Thank you, Arnab. First of all, I'd like to tell Madam that the Constitution of India provides a directive principles of state policy, and those directive principles of state policy are talking to you about the governance of a country through Article 44 of the Constitution, and that is what we are discussing. Now, the next point that we come in is that when the lady is talking about a violation against the laws of Islam, let me ask you that for the last 75 years, what law have we been following under the name of Islamic law? We have been following a law which has permitted the triple talaq, something that the Quran forbids. We have been following a law which gives women discriminatory rights. There is nikah halala. There are different kinds of abuses that have been piled on women. Now, the whole point is that this is not Islamic law. This is not Quranic law, and the law that was implemented is more customary law which was being practiced. Now, the point is this, that even when you talk of polygamy, in Islam, polygamy is not a permissive ordinance, that you can just go marry whatever you want and whoever you want. It was a revelation that came at the Battle of Uhud, when women were getting widowed and there was nobody to look after them. And so it was said, that you may, and it did not give you the permission. It gave you the restriction, because at that time you could marry multiple women in that culture, and multiple different kinds of relationships with women were established. But Islam stopped that, and Islam gave you a particular road to a civilization. Now, that point is that, and there is in the same surah number in Nisa, there is another verse to say that you cannot treat 2 women equally. Your heart does not permit it. Now, that is also a verse of the Quran which is pointing towards polygamy, and we find that many nations of the world have brought about very strong restrictions and even prohibitions against polygamy under Islamic law. So, when we are saying that if there is any kind of fear that there is going to be, and you're going to be overcoming the law, that is not right, because what you are doing is setting the law right. Triple talaq is not permissible in Islam. And triple talaq, it was known as talaq bidat, which is known as heretical, something that was unapproved, disapproved, and yet it was very practiced, and it was an accepted practice. Now, when you overcome that, you're not overcoming Islamic law, you're overcoming a customary law which is wrongly placed under Islam. The Uniform Civil Code is going to give you that equality. It has to be, of course, there are cultural differences, there are diversities, there are challenges, but one cannot say that we are not going to look at it. Of course, you have to look at it. And it has been 75 years since independence that we are looking for non-discriminatory laws, especially against genders, and in the present system of personal laws, cutting across every kind of personal law, discrimination has been introduced. Islam does not permit discrimination, nor does the Quran. But this is not the Quran that is being practiced. It is a law that is come into existence over the years, which is called fiqh, where human intelligence has been used. And there is the doctrine of taqleed, and there is the doctrine of ijtihad, which one has to discuss. So, when we are talking about the Uniform Civil Code, we are not talking about, we are talking about implementation of a law which is not going to be against the Quran. which is not going to be against Islam. It is going to be very pro-Islam, because
so we've now broadened the debate. We broadened the
Islam
debate.
Gives non-discrimination.
We broadened the debate, and this is wonderful. I would like to bring Sona Khan and Saida Falak on the left. And since we are talking legal, Ishkaran and Zinat Shaukat Ali on the left and the right respectively. My point being, Sona Khan, what she's saying is marvelous. What she's saying is, today the terrible argument against the Uniform Civil Code is, look here, you are saying we are discriminating against women. We are, but we have a right. You are saying that we are discriminating against millions of women in divorce laws. We are, but we have a right to. You are saying that we discriminate against women in inheritance. Yes, we have discriminated. We are discriminating. We will continue to discriminate, but we have a right to. And then people say, oh, but polygamy hurts the interests of women. Yes, women are being abused, and they will be abused in the future through polygamy, and they will not be extended maintenance rights. It's all very, very bad. We agree with you, but we have every right to do it. That's the argument, Sana, and I think that's no argument. I think, Sona Khan, that's injustice. This injustice has to end at some point.
Absolutely.
This is just injustice.
Absolutely, I agree with you entirely, and also with my friend Shaukat Ali. But I just want to tell you one thing more, that Quran does not give the permission to discriminate against men and women. There's a doctrine of double truth. One is a divine truth, another is a truth of human reasoning. And wherever possible, where the Quran is silent or is not clear enough to give a proper direction, there the truth of human reasoning has to be used. And in the times where the world has recognized the truth of human reasoning, it is imperative for Islamic jurisprudence to recognize the equal rights of women. For example, Algeria, Tunisia, other countries have made laws where women inherit equally. And they have found a way out within the Islamic system. So has Egypt. So had other countries. Why is Indian Muslims are kept behind?
You tell Saida Falak, who refuses to listen.
Very backward.
But how long will we keep doing this for Muslim women?
They will have to listen. These people will have to listen. This is not the way to treat. If you claim to be a leader of a community, then you have to be very fair and just to the community and deliver. So far, Muslims are backward because no investment has ever been made in terms of human reasoning and look into their problems. Everybody has taken them as a vote bank, and this is precisely not allowed in Islamic jurisprudence. You cannot use people. You cannot be selfish enough for your own personal goal to use people and make them vulnerable and ignore their difficulties. You cannot do that.
Well spoken. I think that today,
this is against
in a minority of one right now.
So if you want,
Saida Falak, hear this. These are very well-informed people. One is a great scholar, the other is a very well-known lawyer, and they are telling you, don't get used. Please go and tell Owaisi. Tell Owaisi, Saida, that I will refuse to be used by you as a political tool to misguide Muslim women anymore. Muslim women must rise against this injustice anymore. Support the UCC. Ishkaran wants to say something to you.
Just 2 points. The reason Islamic countries can bring in the law, because there is no Muslim vote bank politics happening there. There is no need to dominate an entire community and say, we are your protector, tum dar ke raho. What is happening here? All that is happening is Muslim women get rights equal to Muslim men, who get rights equal to any other citizen of this country. How can you sit here, have an argument against banning marriage of 16-year-old girl child? Every community has to ban it, irrespective of the religion. How can you have an argument for 4 marriages? Every community has to ban it, irrespective of the religion. How can you have an argument saying guardianship will not be given? every community, man and woman, both have to have the rights of guardianship. How can you sitting here argue that a woman should get less share of property and man? All these are secular activities. All these have to be governed by modern secular law. And I am stunned. Feminists who are the first one to raise their voice. Madam, please learn from the brave ladies of Iran who are actually fighting for their rights at the cost of their life against a domination by extremely bigoted people. Please don't make it that. Please let every woman who doesn't have a voice.
Saida!
Child marriage happens in Hindu religion. Talk about them. Talk about them first. Talk about Hindu women, not just Muslim women. We are very happy. We have been given many rights and privileges. You don't need to worry about that.
This is
we have our Muslim personal law code. We have our Sharia law. We will follow it. We will decide our rules. No one else will decide for us.
Which is prohibited by child marriage.
Constitution has given us the right. Constitution has given us the right to follow our religion.
I'm sorry you expose yourself to the nation.
UCC will be violation of a number of rights given to us to practice our religion and culture.
Against marrying a 16-year-old girl, against multiple marriages, against getting equal right in property. What will it violate? Please tell me, what will it violate?
What about the number of dowry deaths, rapes, female infanticide, child marriages?
All crimes under
in Hindu religion. In Hindu religion, who will talk about
Is
that?
that mandated? The simple question you need to ask here. The simple question, Saida, Owaisi has really misled you. Owaisi has really misled you. Let me tell you. Abhijit is also on. See, understand one thing. Understand. Female infanticide.
I just want to make 2 points.
No, just one quick point. Female infanticide is not mandated by any law.
Yes.
So you can't make even a weird comparison there. Fact is, Supreme Court of India is constantly telling the centre, why have you failed to bring in a uniform civil code? Geeta, they are even questioning the wisdom of the Supreme Court today.
Well, that uniform civil code is understandable.
The Supreme Court has time and again many judgments raised this issue that the government should implement and bring uniform civil code. In fact, even in the Shah Banu case, there also the Supreme Court had raised this issue that why is it that, Article 44 after so many decades of independence has not been thought by the governments, successive governments, to be implemented.
In fact,
when the debate was there when the constitution was being framed at that time,
Article 45
I want to understand, Geeta, explain one thing to me. Explain one thing to me. People who say we are secular, they don't want the law to be secular. So it's an irony for me. Those who go and say we are secular, we are pseudo-secular, we are this secular and that secular, but they don't want a secular law. They want communal laws.
UCC is not a secular law. It is divisive. It is a divisive law. It will create social unrest.
You're absolutely right, Arnab.
It's not a secular
when it comes to,
Arnab, I just want to make 2 points.
When it comes to our country, we say that that we need laws
UCC
which are secular in nature. Now, in spite of their...
Yes, Abhijit, what's your point? Abhijit, what's your point?
Giving a protection where, minority institutions can flourish.
What is your point?
The draft is not in place. Arnab, the draft is not in place. Alright? Who is there in the drafting committee? No, I am told that there are experts. Who are these experts? Do we have representation from communities? Do we have representation from people groups?
No,
the people for whom the law is being brought, do we have their representation in the drafting? That is number one. And I want to bring in here, I want to bring in here 498A. If you remember, when it was brought in, the intentions, the idea and the projections was very good. But the way 498A was misused, on my travels, I actually saw a Purush Mukti Kendra. Because of 498A, the way 498A was misused, and my question is, will UCC, or what is the guarantee that UCC will not be misused?
Arnab,
should it be drafted?
Understand basic. Please, can I now speak? Basic. 498 is a criminal law, and we are talking about civil laws. First thing. Secondly,
I know that.
Yes,
I know that.
Please, now let me finish now. If you are making an argument against laws favoring women, then that's a completely different debate. We can have that. You can have a debate on whether laws favor women or they favor men, or you need a men's commission. That's a very different debate. Third point, let me be very clear on this. In the civil law, because the criminal law, every community accepts the criminal law. Every community accepts the contract law, specific relief law. Why? Because Britishers wanted to ensure money and law and order. They did not care what you did in your personal life. But India, our government, a government by Indians where Indians vote, has to care about what women get in their personal lives. That is the duty of the government. So that is why they are bringing a uniform civil code, which they are bound to. How can you have an argument that a woman should suffer because she is born in one religion or one community? You cannot have that. And if any law gets misused, court comes up with guidelines. 498 courts came up with guidelines to it. So that will come.
My question is, who is there in the drafting committee?
In fact, I feel it should be. I feel Abhijit. I'm sure you'll agree with me. 1 minute. I'm sure you'll agree with me. I think simply RP, the government should bring in the law, debate it for about a week in one house, maybe for about a week in the other house, and end of it. Just move on. That's it. Can't keep debating this forever. This never end otherwise. In 2 weeks it can be over. There's a uniform civil code in France, in Japan, in Canada, USA. Are those communal laws? What are we doing? Why do we want to break up our country like this? Think about it. And for how long?
I'm just saying that
there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. The Supreme Court in the Shah Bano case had called for a common civil code.
It is mandatory, and I'm with you on that. And there's a time for common civil code. And as per our scriptures and our gurus also, as I said, Soko manda akhiya jin jamme rajan. That's what Nanak said about women. And then man doesn't accept this. And it's just Gurpurab, and we are celebrating the Gurpurab. And then that's what I'm saying. Let's promote what Nanak said. Let's push what Nanak said. I mean, but they are not prepared for that. My fellow gentleman who's a Sikh here say no. We should have more debate on this.
I didn't disagree on the verse. I didn't disagree on the verse, sir. Please. I didn't disagree on the verse. What Guru Nanak said, it should be implemented. Sir, I am against.
Have you ever heard about nikah halala?
Yes, I have heard.
How can you accept that? If you are a follower of Nanak, if you are a follower of Guru Nanak, how can you accept that?
Listen, sir. Listen, let me come into debate.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'll take this debate forward another day. For now, with a promise to see you at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.